An Ethiopian minister has come up with a strange logic to justify the activities of Eritrean opposition groups on Ethiopian territory. Who is this minister? What did he say? Secondly, ONLF, Ogaden National Liberation Front, has held a general assembly. ONLF and the Ethiopian government, Prosperity Party, have been at odds. One group of ONLF has been at odds with the government. The other group is in alliance with the government. Which group is holding the assembly? What is being decided at the assembly? Let's start with this news story, then I'll have a look at what the Ethiopian minister said. Ogaden National Liberation Front, ONLF, it was rather an armed group based in the Somali region of Ethiopia. It fought security forces for years, but in 2018, it signed a peace deal like OLF. It laid down arms. And the peace deal stipulated that ONLF will share power with the government, that its fighters will be integrated into security forces, that the rights of Somali people, Ogaden people, will be safeguarded by the government. ONLF has recently been accusing the government of violating that peace agreement. ONLF leaders remain based abroad mostly, and ONLF has been accusing the government of manufacturing a splinter ONLF group. Abdirahman Maade, who has been leading ONLF for years, is not in Ethiopia. He does not visit Ethiopia because he knows that if he enters Ethiopia, he could be arrested. From abroad, he publishes posts and messages. A few weeks ago rather, ONLF held a meeting. Central committee of the party held a meeting in Jigjaga. And that central committee fired Abdirahman Maade from his position as the president. Abdirahman Maade group accused the government of backing that meeting of central committee. It refused to, Maade group refused to accept that decision. Now, a general assembly of ONLF is underway, again, in the Somali region of Ethiopia. And in that general assembly, Abdirahman Maade has been removed. The Central Committee's decision has been upheld by the General Assembly. ONLF, Abdirahman Maade, is definitely expected to reject this decision made by the General Assembly. ONLF says that the meetings being held in the name of ONLF in this region are basically being attended by Prosperity Party leaders, and the real ONLF is not being allowed to carry out any activity in the Somali region. The General Assembly is expected to elect the new president, who could be Kalbi Dahaga, who was seen a few weeks ago with Mustafa Omar, Somali region's president. Why is ONLF holding a party congress? I think it is one of the requirements to be eligible to contest election less than a year away now. And government wants ONLF to remove Abdirahman Maade. Government wants a pro-government ONLF party to be registered in the National Election Board of Ethiopia. And government wants this ONLF to contest election in 2026. What will Abdirahman Maade group do? That remains to be seen. It's open to speculation. It has been open to speculation for the last few months. We heard rumors that ONLF of the Mother Group had started an armed insurgency based in Somalia against the Ethiopian government. That could not be confirmed. Secondly, viewers, an Ethiopian minister is justifying the activities of Eritrean opposition groups in Ethiopia. Birhanu M. Lengiso is Ethiopian minister. I think he's from the Oromia region, and he is very vocal supporter of Ethiopian sea access through Eritrea. And he criticizes the Eritrean government a lot too. By the way, it takes two to tango. Eritrean ministers, ambassadors, activists doing the same thing. All day they share material about Ethiopia. They want to prove that Ethiopia is about to collapse, that Abiy is just Prime Minister of Addis Ababa. Anyway, Birhano M. Lengisu says that when people, when parties, when groups call for the removal of a government, it should be surprising. It happens in countries, it happens everywhere, that opposition groups or those groups which are not happy with the performance of the government, they demand the removal of the government. Nothing wrong with that. But problem is that in Eritrea, this right of political expression is denied. Is authoritarian rule in Eritrea. That is why Eritrean citizens in Ethiopia are calling for the removal of Eritrean government, because Eritrean government does not allow them to express themselves freely. And he mentions Ethiopia too, that Ethiopian citizens are also calling for removal of Eritrean government and saying it shows that there are historical ties between the two countries. Two countries are interconnected. Now, my question, viewers, is that those Eritreans who are calling for the removal of Eritrean government while based in Ethiopia, are they just issuing statements? Are they resorting to armed means of toppling Isaias Afwerki's government? Eritrean Blue Revolution Front, EBRF, Eritrean Afar National Congress, EANC, Red Sea Afar Democratic Organization, they have taken up arms. They have taken up arms to topple Isaias Afwerki government. They are being trained in Eritrea, in Ethiopia. They are being armed in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is providing them with money, with weapons, with training. This is what is happening on Ethiopian territory. So what Eritrean citizens are doing on Ethiopian territory is not peaceful political expression of their views. Rather, it's preparation for a proxy war. It's preparation for insurgency in Eritrea while based in Ethiopia. So Birhano M. Lengiso is trying to cover up the facts. Yes, Eritrea is doing the same. Eritrea is training a far anti-prosperity party opposition fighters. Eritrea is in contact with Fano fighters. Fano commanders visit Eritrea. Eritrea is backing TPLF, Tigray forces. Eritrea is also backing proxy Ethiopian opposition groups. So it's politics. It's politics of proxy armed intervention into each other's countries, which they have been doing in the last over 20 years. There was just a brief let up of a few years after 2018. They're back to business. They're back to square one. Thanks for watching.